Okay, well, good evening. Welcome to the College2Career Fair's virtual college exploration. Thank you so much for joining us. This is for California students. My name's Amanda Fitz. I'm a counselor at Arcadia High School in the LA area. Just a few housekeeping items before we get started. So you can use the Q&A button to type in any questions that you have to the presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists can't see you or hear you, and this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at College2Career Fairs connect.org, and also a recording will be available. This session will be recorded and a recording will be available at College2CareerFairsConnect.org. And so now I would like to turn it over to our presenters, and I will stop sharing my screen.
All right, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and pull mine up really quick before I get started. All right, here. And all right. Okay, well, good. Well, again, thank you for the introduction and for all the housekeeping items. It's really fun to be here. My name is Sarah Jean Gilbert. I serve Illinois College as the Associate Director of Admission. I also recruit students in California. I'm originally from California. I'm from the East Bay area, Northern California, and I recently moved to Illinois about 2 years ago so that I could live closer to my husband's family. So I kind of have a unique perspective of having lived in both places and actually moved here. And I can say that it is an amazing place here in Central Illinois, and I love sharing it with prospective students from California. A couple of things. I'm going to go over a little bit of an overview of Illinois College, and then I think at the end I'll go ahead and take questions or read off what you have put in the Q&A. Make sure you do put in a question in the Q&A so that I can get to those at the end. But I think I've covered pretty much everything, so I'll go ahead and get to my first slide here. So this is me, and I have been in Illinois College for about 2 years. I did not go here. I'm not an alumnus of this college, but it's kind of one of those things where I wish that I had. But I do have the interesting perspective of having chosen to work at Illinois College, and I think I used a lot of the same must-haves for a job, for working here, that I would for prospective students choosing a college. So that's kind of what I use. But most of my colleagues here are alums, and they have really enjoyed their experience. So I have loved hearing all of their stories. Here at Illinois College, we are very focused on not only on your undergraduate experience, so your experience while you would be here in college, but also on what ends up happening after you graduate. We want to make sure that you're graduating ready for anything that you would possibly do after you leave us here. So whether it's going on to graduate school or going into a career, into the career and world of work, we want to make sure that you're ready for that. And we want to talk about you and your experiences after you're done. We have a vibrant alumni community, and I think that really does help kind of round out the student experience. So graduate ready is our overriding philosophy. If you receive information from us at all, you will definitely see this phrase used quite a bit. Just a little bit about our college in general. We do have the small college experience here. So we are a small liberal arts college, and we have a student enrollment of just a little bit over 1,100 students. This is the largest we've ever been, and we're very excited to have welcomed in our largest incoming class this fall. And with that, we know that growing is good, but it also does mean that we don't want to get too big. We want to make sure that we have that good community feel here on campus. One of the best things is that the class sizes are very small. So because our small size, it makes sure that we can have an average class size of 16. So that definitely means that there's some bigger, but not many. We don't have huge lecture halls on campus. And as you get along in your major, you definitely will be able to have much smaller classes. classes. The small class sizes do end up lending themselves really well to discussion-based and group work classes, and that's a really good hallmark of the student experience here on campus. Our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. Our faculty here at IC are very dedicated to their students, and they came to work here because they knew that they wanted to have that kind of impact on students' lives, and they wanted to make sure that they could help with whatever they might need. So help them with classes, help them figure out what they might want to do for a career, help them to be recommenders when they are applying for grad school or a job. So any number of things. They're really, really dedicated to their students. A little bit about the student experience. We have students who come from 32 of the US states. So if you came to IC, you wouldn't be alone in being an out-of-state student. And I think that's important to mention because we have students from many different states, also foreign countries as well. We have a vibrant international student population, and that really does help round out that student experience. So even though we're that small liberal arts college in the middle of Illinois, we have a lot of really diverse students and a lot of a diverse student population, which is great. With that, we have about 28% of students of color, and 37% of our students are first-generation college students. 38% of those also do identify as lower income. 87% of our students end up living on campus, which is a great opportunity for them to not only meet people and feel that community a little bit more, but it's so convenient because you're right here where everything is. I'm going to give you a quick little overview. This is one of our newest alums. Her name is Jalen Ash. She comes from Oxnard, California, and I wanted to show this video. So I'm going to go ahead.
My name is Jalen Ash. I'm from Oxnard, California, and I am a senior here at IC this year. I was initially shocked at the small size of the town because I grew up in a big city, so that was a big culture shock for me. At first, I was really homesick, but then I got over that within like a week. And I decided to stay here because I did just love the sense of belonging. I vouch for Illinois College so much because of the small classes and the personal feel that it has to it. You never feel like you're alone. You don't feel like you're failing. And if you do, start to have trouble, there's always people to go to. I love the relationships I've built, and I love my friends, and I love the campus, and I feel like it's a safe space, and I can, go to sleep at night and feel comfortable and wake up and be excited for the next day.
Okay, great. I know that you do like to listen to college reps talk about their schools, but I think when it comes from an actual student, it is really more powerful. So I did want to share that with you. A little bit about academics here at Illinois College. This is kind of a little word jumble, but it's not all the majors that we have, but these are some visual representation of some of the majors we have and some of the most popular majors that we do have. So a lot of our students are interested in a number of things, and we have a lot of in-demand majors to offer on campus here. One thing to note, brand new this last year, we did start our own nursing program. So we have our own BA nursing, and we hadn't had that before. And so we're really lucky to have some amazing faculty come from another institution and really help us to put together this amazing program. So we have nursing, we have all of the typical liberal arts degrees. We also have health sciences, really strong biology and psychology programs, as well as a number of other ones that are really great too. So we've got a lot to choose from, and I think that helps to, make sure that our students have, what they need. Also, you don't have to choose your major until into your sophomore year, and actually after that you still could keep going and not choose your major until a little bit later. That's the first time you can actually choose your major and decide to declare. So you have some time to try and figure out what you want to go into, or maybe try out some classes and see what you think. That is the beauty of the liberal arts experience. A little bit about our Illinois College Scholars Program. So that's our honors program. So if you maybe have taken some honors classes in high school and you've done really well and you have a certain GPA and those things, we will invite you to be part of our Illinois College Scholars Honors Program. And that has a lot of good perks to it. You do end up registering for classes early. You have really great discussion-based classes, and and there's a couple of other really great perks with that as well. So that's something to look into if you apply and end up wanting to participate in honors. A few things that we like to talk about as life-defining experiences, and I like to think of these as the things that happen outside of the classroom that are really, really helping to round out your experiences. Internships are a big thing at IC. We want to make sure with that Graduate Ready promise, we want to make sure that you are ready for whatever you want to do after college. And so an internship is a great opportunity there. You can see what it's like in a particular career, a particular job, where you can go and actually do project work for certain people or certain companies or organizations and see what it's like on the day-to-day basis. You can make some good networking contacts, and really sometimes that ends up working with our students in order to get some sort of job opportunities or recommendations for another job or possibly for grad school. We make it easy. Our internships are offered over the summer and possibly during the semester, but majority of the students actually do it in the summertime. So you have ample time to do it. You can actually go home and do it in a local area or within a local company. So that's an opportunity as well. And we work really closely with our career readiness and experiential learning office. They're the ones who help our students get connected with some internship opportunities, and that's really helpful for them. Student faculty research is another area where our students are excelling. We have research that is going on all the time on campus with our faculty because they're not just teaching and they're not just being great mentors for our students, but they're also participating in their own research. So certainly in sciences, we have a lot of research going on constantly in biology, as well as in psychology, we have ongoing research opportunities there. Sociology has some, business, sports management, those sorts of things. They have lots of different opportunities for those research. Our students do the research over the summer, and they can live on campus and help the faculty put together the study and help them run their experiments and collect their data. And then after that, they can actually work with them to write up the study and possibly get it published, or they can help with the faculty present at a national conference. For example, our psychology department does an annual research project every year, and they always go to the APA, the American Psychological Association conference, and they always present at that conference their findings. So it's really cool opportunities for undergraduate students. A lot of places you'll see that those opportunities go to graduate students. We don't have graduate students here at IC, so really all those great opportunities go to our undergrads, which is great. Our community engagement is really strong on campus. We start every year with a service project in our community where we go out and help different organizations or individuals and kind of help them with whatever they might need. And it really does help our students to connect to the larger Jacksonville community. And then also, there's opportunities for community engagement throughout the year, whether it's through a club or through one of our literary societies or anything like that, where you can actually give back to a local charity or community organization. Our students are really, really involved on campus as well. And I'll talk a little bit more about this later, but I want to mention that our students really do have that involvement thing down where they can, they're involved in their classes, maybe they're involved in a couple of clubs, they have a job on campus, they just do a lot of things. And I think that really does help round out their experience. And to finally give you a little bit more about life-defining experiences, international travel is a big thing that our students do. So we have typical study abroad experiences that happen during a semester-long experience. And our students actually work with our global studies office, and they get to work one-on-one with someone to help them kind of design what they want for their abroad experience. And then they can help them figure out where it will fit in their academic program and make sure that everything will work out. And they kind of work with them all the way through until they go, and then when they come back and make sure that everything has been a really great experience. We also have some things that we call breakaways, and they are time spent away from campus, either during spring break or during the summer, where our students end up going abroad with 2 faculty members from IC and also some of their fellow IC students. And they can go to any number of places and learn about a specific topic, but then also learn about the culture of the country what they're in. And our students end up going a lot of places in Europe as well as Central and South America. We've recently gone quite a bit to Cuba and Puerto Rico, as well as some other places in the United States. And it's a really great opportunity. If you're not quite sure if you want to go for a full semester abroad, a breakaway is a great opportunity. And a lot of our students, if you actually apply to go, every student who applies to take a breakaway will get $1,000 towards that experience. So we are essentially subsidizing your amazing experience. And so we want you to go and come back and kind of, so then we can brag about what you've been doing and kind of tell some of your stories there. As far as academic support, Illinois College is very strong. We have a number of things that we like to talk about because we know that the transition from high school to college can sometimes be difficult. Also, if you're coming from out of state or you're going to be farther away from home, it can be really hard to kind of adjust. So what we want to do is set you up to succeed really early on, and we do that in a number of different ways. The first way is that we provide you with academic coaches. So every student who comes to IC in your first semester, you'll be assigned an academic coach. And what an academic coach is, the way I like to explain it is it's kind of like an academic advisor, kind of like a life coach, and kind of like a mentor all in one. They'll help you figure out anything that you might need. So if you are having trouble maybe connecting or making friends, or if you are having trouble in one of your classes and you need to know how to get tutoring help, or what you need to do to go to the writing center, or maybe you're having some mental health struggles and they can take you and get you to talk with somebody in our counseling center. So a lot of different ways that they help, and that person can be with you for your full 4 years. So you are able to actually access that help for quite a bit of time. I wanted to mention our TRIO program, which is kind of part of that. If you are a first generation college student, if you have a documented disability, or if you are a low income student, if you qualify as low income student, you do qualify for TRIO. And that is a really great opportunity where you get an academic coach, but then it's so much more. You get a lot more mentoring, you get a lot more guidance, and it really does help our students who are in those categories to kind of get what they might need. Also, if you're part of TRIO, you can be part of a bridge program that we call our Yates program, where students come a week ahead of everyone else, so a week ahead of all the other first year students, and they get a crash course on how to do everything at IC. So by the time everybody else comes, they've got this whole college thing down, which is pretty cool. We have free tutoring on campus, and I think it's really accessible and easy to get. And if you are really great at a subject, or if you're struggling at a subject, you can use the tutoring. It does not matter. And that is really helpful for a lot of our students. And I think tutoring in college is a little bit different than what it might seem like in high school. There's not really that stigma there. So what we really want is for our students to be able to reach out and ask for help whenever, and to have that help to be available. So that free tutoring really does help a lot of our students. And career planning through our career development and experiential learning office is really helpful. So regardless of whatever year you're in, there's something that you can do with our CREL office, is what we call them. And they can help you with resume development. They can help you with internships, like I mentioned earlier. They can help you with a number of other things too, but they're always putting on workshops. Even now that we're kind of in a hybrid instruction thing going on here, we still have opportunities to do workshops with students, and it's really helpful for everyone to get connected and to have that kind of experience and to really figure out what you might want to do career-wise. And they're the ones that will, when you're graduating, they'll talk you through what's happening and what you're doing, or they'll help you to find a job. And they're also the ones that come to us and they say, hey, everyone has a job that's graduated, when we're so excited, or they either have a job or they're in grad school. And so we have a almost 100% placement rate up to 9 months after graduation, so that is really helpful. All these things end up being super helpful for our students. We do have what we call a finish in 4 guarantee. So what we do is kind of an agreement with our students, and we make sure that they're doing everything they possibly can to make it so that they can graduate in 4 years, and we do the same. So that's an agreement we have with them. It is, we have a really, really tight 4-year graduation rate. So it happens all the time. Everybody is graduating in 4 years. But just in case something ends up happening, what we'll do is if say you need a class and you can't get that in order to graduate in the full 4 years, we will go ahead and pay for you to finish so that you can get that done. Because we know that if it's something that we did, we want to make sure that we can remedy that. So we're putting our money where our mouth is when it comes to Finish in 4. The student experience, I did mention that our students are highly involved. This is just a little sampling of some of the student activities that are available on our campus. So you can see it's anything from like affinity groups, it's student activities, it's speech and debate. There's a lot, there's some Greek life, there's some academic clubs, all of those things. So there's there's more than 80 clubs on our campus, and we really do think that it is important for our students to actually be super involved. And so we wanted to show you a few of the things that our students are involved in there. We do have athletics on our campus. We're NCAA Division III, and we do have 23 athletic programs. And it's really great. Our students are super involved with athletics. So whether they're actually student athletes, we have about 45% of our students are student athletes, or if they want to go out and cheer on some of our teams, it's really important that everybody's involved. And I think it's really great because, I mean, I live in town here, I bring my family, and we end up watching some of the women's basketball and volleyball games. We go to football games on Saturdays during a normal year. So it's really fun opportunity to kind of be involved. Our students also are, you know, they really want to support the team. So a lot of them end up being involved in Blue Crew, which is kind of like our student section at football games and basketball games and things like that. And our students pay I think it's about a $25 fee, and they can do all sorts of fun stuff with Blue Crew, from getting free t-shirts to free meals at games, all sorts of really fun swag. So it's a really great time. We started Blue Crew last year, and our students enjoyed it a lot, and it's really fun. A few things for next steps. So if you are a senior, you're starting hopefully to apply to colleges. And if you haven't yet, that's okay, but it's probably something that you're going to be doing pretty soon here. So I wanted to give you a few next steps on how you can apply to Illinois College. So we have a free application that is currently open. We have a rolling admission at IC, so you don't have to worry about whether we're early action or regular. We have an application through our website, which is at admission.ic.edu/apply, or you can find us on the Common App. So either way, whatever app is fine. If you're on one of our mailing lists and you've received a True Blue application, you can use that too. There's lots of different ways that you can apply. All of those ways are free, so just to let you know that. We will end up taking transcripts, and it does say official transcripts here, but actually we can take unofficial as well. We know that the world is really crazy, and especially you all are not going to be attending in person, or maybe not attending in person. So it's really hard to possibly get that information from a counselor. So you could actually get that, you can send us that unofficial transcript and we will be able to use it. We have a secondary school report that we request, but it's not required, so that we can understand a little bit more about your high school, and we'll get that. You can send that to your high school counselor, and they can fill that information out for you. We're a test score optional institution at Illinois College. We've been test score optional for about 10 years, so we've gotten pretty good at it. We don't end up using test scores for admission purposes or for scholarship purposes. So everyone who's admitted to Illinois College does get some sort of merit scholarship, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But just to let you know, everyone gets that. And regardless of whether you submit a test score or not, we are definitely going to offer you a merit scholarship if you're admitted. So if you haven't tested, if you haven't been able to, and you're applying to us, you don't have to worry about it for us. So that is definitely something for you to consider. To go over scholarships for a little bit here, we have a few that are merit scholarships. The academic distinction, excellence in education scholarship, and true blue scholarships. That's kind of the range of our scholarship amounts there. What we like to say is it's basically about anywhere from $12,000 to $24,000 that our students get based on their high school information on their application. We do also have location-based awards, so that's $2,000 that you all would get for coming from out of state. We know that there's some additional charges, some additional money that you would have to spend to get here and to go back and forth. So we want to make sure that's a little bit easier. We also don't have out-of-state tuition, so that's something to consider also. You would pay the same tuition as any student who is from Illinois or even international. The Ready for Success Award that is on here is if you end up visiting campus, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and applying and filling out the FAFSA, you'll get an additional $2,000 for that there. We also do have some affinity scholarships, debate and speech, music, as well as esports. So those are anywhere between $500 and $1,000 there. The top ones, the Trustee Scholarship and AeroSTEM Scholarship, those are pretty limited, but I definitely want to mention them too. The Trustee Scholarship, we have 2 interview days that are coming up this year where we invite our best and brightest. So anybody that has above a certain GPA and has those qualities we're looking for, we'll invite you to do kind of an interview online and kind of see what you can get there. We award 5 full tuition scholarships every year at the Trustee Scholarship. The AeroSTEM Scholarship is if you're interested in science. So anything that is pure science, biology, chemistry, biochem, that sort of thing, or engineering, nursing, or pre-med. All of those would actually be considered for the AeroSTEM. So you do need to do another scholarship, but that is a really cool thing that we do. We give out 8 of those per year. So those are some of the scholarship opportunities that we have at IC. In terms of value, so we have those guaranteed internship, research, and study abroad opportunities. Our textbooks are actually included in our tuition, so that is a really great thing. You won't ever have to track down a book. Actually, we don't even have a bookstore on campus. It's mostly just a swag store that we call our IC store. So that's really helpful. Our students, they register for classes, they get a box a few days before classes start. In that box is all their books, and then they use them, and then they can actually bring them back at the end of the semester, and that's all they have to do. It's kind of amazing. We have that Finish in 4 guarantee, which is really important for all of our students. And we offer generous scholarship and financial aid to all of our students. And then academic coaches for every new student. So definitely want you to reach out to us and kind of, if you have any questions. I know that if you're on our mailing list, you'll be getting emails from me because I send out about once a month, I'm sending emails just out to students to kind of give them a little bit more information about IC, but then also wanting to know a little bit more about you. So I always end all of those emails with questions, right? What are some things that you want to know? What are you worried about when you're picking colleges, that sort of thing. So I really do want to get to know you all because it's really important for me. I'm going to be working with you pretty closely. That's the thing. So if you apply to IC and if you're admitted and if you end up choosing to come to IC, there's all sorts of things that kind of need to happen in between, in your full year. I would also work with you on all of your financial aid. So I'm also a financial aid counselor. So I'm pretty good at helping our students figure out what they can afford, how they can pay for college, and talking them through pretty much any situation. So that's something that I really like to do with my students too. So we're pretty hands-on. Definitely wanted to give you that information as well. So I do have some time for some questions. I don't know if anybody does have any questions. You can definitely put them in the chat box. Let's see. And I know that if there's any additional questions that you might have, you can use this information and you can get a hold of me and I can get you an answer to your question. That is no problem at all. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I have missed. I know that when our students do apply, we have about a 2-week turnaround once everything is completed. And we do send a lot of fun stuff once you are admitted so that you can get excited about being admitted. And then we start talking a little bit more seriously about where you are in your college search process, how that's all going, because I know you're in California. I know that there might be some, you might be also waiting on some other admission decisions if you're looking at UC or Cal State schools. So I'm familiar with all that stuff. So I think it's really great to work with you all. And I hope that I'll get to see some applications from you. And then you'll be hearing from me as your year goes on, for sure. So don't have any questions right now, which is completely fine. I'm okay with that. I'm glad you came to hear what I had to say tonight. And I hope that you will reach out and eventually apply to us here at Illinois College. Have a great night, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'll just share a last minute little housekeeping. Here, let me share my screen here. Okay, well, that was great. Thank you so much. I learned a little, even though I've been there and know a little bit about this school. That was great. Stuff to pass along to my students too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. When you close your window, there's going to be a really quick 4-question survey. So we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And then also, once again, this is just one of many sessions being hosted. So be sure to sign up for additional sessions at College2CareerFairsConnect.org. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as the other session recordings at College2CareerFairsConnect.org. Okay, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you.
Yep. Have a good night. Thanks.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.